What's up, everybody? Welcome back to BSL16. And up next here, we have quite an exciting match for everybody. It's going to be Big Bad Bonyth going up against the foreign Zerg Great, Mr. Sziky. And man, I'm obviously super excited to get this one started.
Yeah, this is going to be a really tough matchup for both sides, even though I think any matchup you've got to favor Bonyth. If we're going to say the opposing player has a decent shot versus him, this is probably the guy that has upwards of the highest chance, because not only is it PvZ, I mean, Sziky is just absurd. He's got insane multitask, he's got insane macro, and we know he's got incredible micro, probably the best muta micro in all of the foreign scene. Like, as soon as he started playing BSL, what was it, like 5 or 6 seasons ago, that was the first thing I noticed. I'm like, dude, this guy's got at least as good muta micro as True Touch and Eon Zerg, but he's also got nuts macro, so this is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He plays honestly like the most meta builds that you expect to see out of the top Korean scene as well. But it's funny because a lot of the times he's actually just so good. When you watch him play on ladder, he will just go nothing but pure muta versus Terran and makes it look broken, right? Like, he just makes it look like, that is how the matchup should be played, just because that control is so good, so consistent out of him. But yeah, one thing's for sure is he also likes to make each and every single one of these games very exciting. It's always a back and forth, series. And, as you mentioned, one of the few Zergs that can also just take a series off of Bonyth. We've seen him do it in the past. So yeah, Bonyth's really going to have to watch out on this one. And with that, first map going to be Power Bond here, folks. Great map for, PvZ in general, 3-player map. It's a map where there's a mineral only third, which, I'd say a lot of Protoss don't really tend to favor, but at least it leads to a fairly quick fourth for PvZ here. With this, both of our players are ready to go, folks. Let's jump into game number 1, Bonyth facing off against Sziky on Power Bond. And spawning mid-left as the blue Zerg, hailing from Hungary, it is Sziky.
And in the bottom middle, everybody's favorite BSL Protoss, it is Bonyth. And I'm surprised that actually you thought this was a good PvZ map, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow, that third base is open for Protoss. If Zerg has, Mass Hydra Man, I mean, they can almost hit from a full, 180 degree onto that base. I mean, there's just so many angles to actually knock it down.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm not biased at all.
Yeah.
This map's, I lose on it a lot, so that makes it a bad map for the matchup. Yeah, you heard it here first. No, I think you're absolutely right. Any map where it is a mineral only for Protoss, they can't be too pleased at the start of it. It is very wide open. Yes, a heavy Hydra play like a 973. I mean, it's got to be a little bit miserable for Protoss to try to defend here. Especially if that Zerg is Sziky. Bonyth scouting for an Overlord mid-right and then making the adjustment, moving towards top left, will get that first scout off. So good call here right away from Bonyth. However, this is the 11 hatchery expand ZVP out of Sziky, which I love to see, man. This is built to kill 9 gates, and that's exactly what we have out of Bonyth.
All right, well, we'll see if he can actually shut that 9 gate down. What I was going to point out about Power Bond is it does have those 10 mineral patches, and in the past, in some of Bonyth's PvZ games, I have seen him 10 gate on 2 bases, and that's just going to be able to allow him to pump out even more zealots. And that drone almost died, by the way. I don't know if you caught that, how the probe hit him like 3 times right next to him, and then he went behind the mineral lines and somehow shot through the minerals and still got another pot shot off.
I mean, it's so good, right? Bonyth has that incredible probe control. He'll straight up just kill you with his first probe if you're not careful sometimes. But still, though, Sziky doing what he needs to do, getting to that 12 supply mark, saving the 3 larvae in the main. Should have 6 Zerglings on the way here very shortly, and that should be more than enough to handle this first Zealot from Bonyth.
And he is going to get into the main, though, and Powerbomb does have that, sweet setup of the minerals where you can combo the Zealot and probe behind the mineral line, and Lings pop out right in the nick of time, save that one drone, but he does get into the sweet spot. And remember, the probe can shoot those drones through the minerals, so you gotta be careful. Oh, actually, that was a good positioning from Sziky right there. He's taking out the probe. Zealot didn't take that much damage, but eliminating the probe is gonna alleviate a lot of the pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Still, though, Sziky not messing around with this, making continuous Zerglings to basically make sure that this Zealot does not get any kills, but he does! Are you kidding me? Bonyth still gets a drone kill, even after all that. Oh, yeah, man. Great focusing.
That was really nicely done. I love how he, stutter stepped with the Zealot, moved it forward with the drone and still able to get pot shots off. And that probe slips out. If he avoids the Overlord too, that would be fantastic. No, that would be too lucky for him.
Yeah, that would just be too much.
Yeah, that would be too absurd. But if that probe had gone unscouted and was able to get into the main, I mean, that would have been great. But that's an idle drone machine. You hate to see that.
Yeah, nobody likes to see that. There we go. Drone moving to the natural here.
Oh my god.
Overlord's a little late.
I just realized Sziky's been blocked for a while, dude. Look at this. We're still 19 out of 19. He's banked up all those larvae, like at his natural. None of them are able to be used at all.
Yeah, this is what we call a blunder here from Zerg. It happens from time to time. But that being said, I mean, he does remove that supply block. He's able to finally get back to droning and stuff. But yeah, you really can't make those kind of mistakes against Bonyth.
Well, we've got Nat Gas for Protoss, I would say relatively quickly, so this is going to be heavy tech as opposed to like, a fast second gateway or fast third or fourth gateway and then, try and overrun them with Zealots. Meanwhile, I think the lair is about done, so Spire should be coming up. Yep, there it is. And the probe does confirm the hatchery at top left, so he knows that, okay, this is a hatchery near your base. It's not at another main, so we're not playing larva style. Our intention here is not to maybe necessarily split the map and camp with like lurker sunken and 4 bases.
Zergling speed finishes up. That should be able to remove the scouting probe of Bonyth. Still though, drone count isn't what you would really hope it to be at this stage of the game. Overlord at least did confirm this is going to be Stargate play. This is a Citadel follow-up as expected from Bonyth. But yeah, if he doesn't prepare for this loss of the first Overlord, things could get a little hairy there. But yeah, actually that was a big round of drones for Sziky, so I think his eco is finally shaping up to where it should be.
Yeah, first Sayer is out though, and Spire not done yet, but Overlord's nowhere in sight, so this Sayer probably won't get any kills actually. If he does get a kill, it's just going to be one, and you can see Bonyth realizing that, so he's going to actually just turn around, and in a lot of games I've seen in BSL, not only do they get one Overlord kill, sometimes they get 2 or 3, so this was actually really good timing from Sziky, taking absolutely no damage at all.
Well, there's that Overlord in the center. There is still time for that to fall. Could be close here. We're seeing the first Scorch moving across the map, but I think he is just barely going to get an Overlord kill.
Yeah, able to get it and get out, so nicely done. And we do see Gateway starting to get put down around the 7-minute mark. Pretty standard. And Scourge spot it, but I don't think we're going to have that 7:30 move out that we see in a lot of games. For now, it looks like we're probably going to be waiting for these to complete, maybe get 1 round out of them, and then move out with like 7 Zealots at maybe like 8:30 or so. DT gets spotted. No, it does not get spotted, and it does sneak out.
Looks like this could be Muta first. Yeah, we're seeing all of that gas and minerals finally be spent here from Sziky. You can kind of tell because obviously there's no Hydrogen, no Evo Chamber quite yet, and you see the Sunkens at both the third and the natural. So yeah, he's really hoping he's... Oh man, but
No defense.
if he kills off these overlords here, yeah, this could be big problems.
3 Scourge, that's it? He's gonna not even be able to kill 2 of the Corsairs. Maybe he can kill 1. The control... Okay, he kills 1. But the DT's here, man. He's just gonna start lighting up these drones. He already one-shot one of them. Surprisingly, most of the drones get out with their life, and you were right, this is Mutaplay. DT only gets 2 kills, but 3 Overlord kills. That's still amazing. Oh, 4 drone kills.
Yeah, this was already great damage out of Bonyth, as expected. DT gonna be forced to retreat here. Oh, actually does fall, so, you know, that's something going for Sziky here. Only a single cannon in the main, but, you know, 5 Corsairs and an Archon to follow this up. Oh! Great finishing time on that Archon. Ends up being able to eliminate those Scourge. And Sziky will now be forced to back up.
This feels like it could be a deadly combo. He's got 1 Archon already. I don't know how many Zealots he has, but, you know, Archon, it does have some range. It could range that Sunken at the natural. And right now, there's no Hydras, no Lings, no anything. It's just a single Sunken. However... Okay, here we go. We've got the 6 Zealots moving out. The Mutas are being chased by the Corsairs, but there's no Scourge to support them. Do have +1 armor, though.
Yeah, more Muta are completing here. We're actually getting a couple Sunkens as well for Sziky. He might have what it takes to just be able to kill this with pure Muta. Especially if the Archon can't really find any damage on top of the Muta lists. But here we go.
I love these Sunken placements. That's one in the mineral line, makes it so hard to get into. And then also a Sunken in the back. And with Mutas just sitting over top, you would think that it wouldn't do that much damage, but the Zealots have actually gotten a decent amount of drones, and the Archon killed almost all of the Scourge.
Wow. Yeah, the Zealot splitting onto the additional drones is huge here. Sunken... Archon does fall, though, so Sziky, you know, doing what he's got to do to stay alive. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure who got the better trade there, honestly.
I think that was the better trade for Bonyth. I mean, he got like 3 or 4 hits onto those Mutas. All of them are about half health, but he still needs a little bit more anti-air. There's still 9 Mutas remaining. Double Stargate, I didn't even realize. So really going heavy on the Corsairs to try and shut down this Muta play. That's the correct play for him, because here come 9 more Mutas into the main trying to knock down this single cannon. It does knock it down, but this is 4 Sairs. Mutas need to be careful.
Yeah, wisely, Sziky looks like he's going to back up. We saw a big flood of Zerglings here. He's going to try to deny this third, but unfortunately cannon's already up now for Bonyth. 6 hatchery being added here for Sziky, though. Drone count's looking fairly healthy. More Scourge being added in. It looks like he just wants to continue with this Muta Scourge play versus the 2 Stargate opener or adjustment from Bonyth.
Yeah, I don't know how well this is going to pan out, because he's still not aware, I don't think, that this is double Stargate. I still think he thinks that it's just 1. So he's just going to continue to go into Mutas, but we know that, okay, actually that's a lot of Scourge. They need to connect, and they do! They knocked down almost all of the Corsairs, and that means this is an open main.
Are you kidding me? That Scourge splitting, I mean, that was just like pro gamer level. That was unbelievable.
Oh, you don't want to do that. Well, I mean, in my game you can do that, storm your own probes, but Bonyth definitely did not want that storm. He hit maybe like 4 or 5 of his own probes. He does, you know, eliminate the threat for now, but that was exactly what Sziky was waiting for.
Yeah, that was phenomenal control once again here. Still, double Stargate is continuing to spin out of Bonyth. Sziky just being relentless with these Mutas here. Dodged yet another storm, and oh, whoa, huge storm though out of Bonyth.
Yeah, that was really good. He catches 4 Mutas with that single storm, and you know, Mutas regen, so the fact that they ended up getting killed, even if you don't use the Mutas, you know, in the next minute or two, I mean, they could have regened to full health and you use them later to pick off Templar. So now, not only does he kill 4 Mutas off, making them less potent, harassing the probe line, also, I don't think he has critical mass now to one-shot Templars in the mid-game, so that's also another benefit for Bonyth there.
Looks like Bonyth, you know, he obviously is on 3 base to the 3 base, although it is a mineral only. He wants to secure a 4th, it looks like, and he might be able to do it. At the same time, looks like a small force of zealots moving out onto the map will at least scout this 4th base attempt of Sziky. But yeah, I think Sziky has the units he needs to just fend this off for now.
That is a lot of gas going into Corsairs, though. Like, I don't know how many he's built now, maybe something like 12. Meanwhile, now, Sziky's starting to transition into Hydra play, but he's still got to worry, or Bonyth still has to worry about his main, because there's still only 1 cannon here. And a lot of Scourge sharking, waiting for those Corsairs to be out of position.
Sziky at that critical High Templar one-shot amount of mutas here. He's got 10 on the field, so that should easily be able to one-shot any stray Templar he sees move out. And now, I mean, he's able to just use this force to shark from the main to preventing a potential, you know, 4th base, 3rd gas here for Bonyth. At the same time, he's got his own 4th base finally up and ready. Should be mining here shortly, and we've seen nothing but a Hydra transition out of Sziky as well here. But Bonyth looking like he wants to move out.
I think if Sziky holds this attack, he's got the game. And the reason I say that is, if you looked in the main, the probe line, I mean, it's really lacking. But the 3rd base, you can see there's way too many probes here. So even though Protoss has 3 bases, doesn't have as much econ as he could have. Also, the gateway count is pretty low. It's only at 6. Whereas Zerg has, what, 7 hatches? So as long as Sziky holds this, feels like he's just in such a dominating position. But he's got to hold. This is still a lot of Templars.
Oh my gosh. Gets 2 of the Templars immediately. This is also buying time for those lurkers to finally morph as well for Sziky. Once those lurkers are up, I think there is nothing Bonyth can do about this. And it looks like Bonyth agrees. He's just going to opt to back up, secure his own 4th base, and try to play from there.
Yeah, I think that's a wise decision from him. He needs to just back off. He's still got a huge army, 150 supply, but maybe it's not strong enough to push through static D, defensive lurkers. So I like how he did back off and is going to take a 4th base. You also got to consider your 4th base is on high ground, so it's going to be really hard for Zerg to punish that themselves. So I think that's a good decision. Just kind of stabilize. He desperately needs the 3rd gas too, because he's just consistently starved on gas.
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying, it's definitely a big disadvantage of this map for PvZ. Protoss never really wants to be limited to a mineral-only 3rd base if they don't have to be. Still, though, this is going to shape up to be pretty interesting because Sziky is so Hydra-heavy, but Bonyth at the same time does have that air superiority, has those 7 Corsairs still alive, and he knows that he's already killed off all of Ziky's Mutalisks. So maybe there's potential to kind of shark around, pick off some free overlords, or at least prevent some vision from Sziky to, at least prevent his observers from being picked off or open up room for shuttle play. So that's kind of what I'm interested to see here. Sziky, though, mirroring the movement of Bonyth here perfectly. This is plenty of lurkers. But here we go. Bonyth choosing to engage here at the potential 4th base. Oh no, Zealot's kind of being stuck in the back. And Sziky getting a phenomenal trade, it looked like.
Yeah, I think if the storms were, on top of the Hydras while that was happening, maybe he could have busted through. But you could see how powerful even just 4 lurkers are. Almost all of the Zealots that went in there got instantly killed. Meanwhile, it's not like Bonyth doesn't have anything behind this. He's taking the 4th base. He's got the 3rd gas coming up. His Nat is mined out, though. Main should be mining out pretty soon. So should consider taking even a 5th base pretty soon. The only question for me is this Lair Man? Is there a Hive anytime soon? Okay, there's the Hive.
Yeah, we do have Hive just now starting. I think this is a fine Hive timing, right? Make sure you guaranteed shut down the mid-game. Yeah, the Queens is weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just to parasite the Corsairs?
No, that's the CC, man.
No.
Oh, I would love it.
That's why he was attacking the command center earlier.
What? I was just memeing. But we're actually gonna have infested Terrans?
Trust me, you definitely wanted to see this.
Well, I wanted to see it, but I didn't think he would do it.
Did he not get it low? Oh, he doesn't want to show it. Oh my god, Bonyth should just kill it right now. He is gonna kill it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was such a sick move to actually kill it off. Because even if you don't use the infested Terrans, I mean, think about it. You get a free command center. That's 1,500 health. That can just be a huge overlord that just never dies.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Oh, we almost saw it. We almost saw infested Terrans in a ZVP.
Well, regardless, I saw him cast what is it? Parasite. And you know what, Machine? Protoss doesn't have restoration, so that's just going to be parasited the whole game, and that's just going to be permanent vision for him.
I don't see the parasited unit. Huh. Big counter though from Sziky. These are just getting mopped up though. I don't know what this was.
I think he was trying to intercept the rally point, and maybe there's some straggler Templars there, and if there are there, well, you just get them for free, right? But a big misstep ends up losing, what was it, maybe 15 hiders or so? Well, he doesn't want to show this. He doesn't want to show that hatchery being built bottom left, but Zilla does spot it.
A little bit of a misstep from Bonyth here though too, losing some Templars for just a handful of Zerglings.
Well, this is always the scary point, in my opinion, for Protoss. Is Zerg now has Hive. You start seeing the Ling upgrade starting to kick in. Zerg has like 10 hatchery production. They've still got all these lurkers that never died. And you're still stuck with... I mean, gateway units are good, right? But there's no Reavers. I don't see them. Now, that's a clump of lurkers that would be juicy for some storms. There's one of them.
Yeah, those are just massive storms. Exactly what you'd hope to get, though, out of Bonyth. But, you know, what's bothering me is bottom left is now being secured. I feel like Bonyth's got to get some pressure down there. He can't just give these two bases up for free.
This army's dead. Ling, Hydra, Lurker are just insane. And like you said, those bases are going to get up for Zerg. That's a good storm. I don't know what these Overlords are doing. That's like 10 Overlords, dude. And there's still a lot of Corsairs. That would be a huge supply block. He's starting to lose some of them, but actually... he lost 3 and still wasn't supply block, so I guess not as big a deal as I thought. Bonyth does have a 5th base, though, which does have another gas, and he still has 2k, 1k banked up.
Yeah, he's really, I mean, somehow staying in this economically. Ooh, triple Robo Reaver. I love seeing this, honestly. Man, Sziky, he's got to scout that out. You need to get Plague to deal with this many Reavers, or you're gonna lose the game very quickly.
Reavers, that's exactly what Protoss... Oh my gosh, we've got another huge Zealot attacking to the left side. You can see just a handful of Lings, followed with a couple of Lurkers. Kill everything. It's just crazy how effective they are. And Sziky is almost even in supply now. And we got to start thinking about the angle of attack for both sides. Like, Zerg has direct access for a drop. The main is huge. If he goes for a drop, that base is going to die so fast. These Sayers need to get out of the middle, in my opinion, and start patrolling the left side to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Yeah, you're very right. I mean, Bonyth's almost going to have to leave like a Dark Archon and make a bunch of cannons in the main or something like that to prevent it. At the same time, though, we haven't seen any drops yet out of Sziky. It's not to say he won't research it, but I'm sure he's thinking about it in the back of his head.
Well, just where do you attack as Protoss? I mean, everything's like a tiny bridge. Lurkers just sit behind that. Bottom left, mineral only, that seems like the most open position. But the high ground bottom left base, I mean, you're attacking up a ramp. Okay, well, this is one way to get through tiny chokes, is you have the Reaver lead the charge. He's still got a lot of high-tech units supporting it too. Multiple Templars, multiple Archons, you know, Sayers, Goons. This is a good unit comp for Protoss right now.
Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of a skull. Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. He picked that shuttle off. Get out of here. He picked off freaking the only way. No! What? Stop. He got both the shuttles now with all of the Reavers somehow.
Oh my god, that is going to alleviate so much pressure. And look at that hidden hatchery. This could be Nidus Man.
It is Nidus Man. It is such a strong play when you have an advantageous position. Here we go though. Bonyth finding a few lurkers caught out by themselves. Dark Swarm finally going down though for Sziky, and we should see this Ling Flood here any second. Ooh, big storms though for Bonyth.
A lot of Archons and a lot of Zealots here with the storms buffering. The Zealots get plagued, but oh my gosh, the drones.
Yeah, quite a few drones falling down there. There's not really any static. I think, you know, a couple Sunkens or a Spore would have made this a little easier for Sziky to kind of fend off. That being said, though, he is starting to get all of his rallies together here. We're seeing quite a few Zerglings in trying to engage this. Another Plague going down on a couple Dragoons there. Quite nice. And yeah, it looks like Bonyth finally going to be forced to back off here. Sziky's not even thinking about this. He's already top right. He's got units located, you know, at the natural area top right there. Hatchery has completed. That should give him the creep he needs in order to get a Nidus down and truly defend top right. And if Bonyth is unable to kill off top right here, Sziky will absolutely take this game.
We've got another attack on that mineral only. Almost the entire army of Protoss is plagued though, so these Lings should do work. We've got Hydras and Lings in the back, and Reavers are not getting focused at all. That Archon had 12 kills, so the AoE really kicking in. That's 14 kills on that single Reaver. Just an amazing trade for Bonyth, but Sziky pushes through, and now we've got supply lead for Zerg, but the two Reavers are still alive.
Yeah, continuing to do that eco damage here. Ooh, looks like he's going to bring them into that bottom left base as well. Do find a spot to get a little bit of damage done. One Reaver does fall though, and this shuttle's a little bruised, so he's gonna have to watch out about that. 3 drones top right already being produced though. This DT of Bonyth just doing so much work though, top right.
Yeah, it does need to take down the probe though, and with all the concentration on the left side, Bonyth may, you know, not have realized that the probe got taken down, or may not even be thinking about taking the top right side of the map. He's starting to mine out a lot of his bases. Remember, he took his 4th base around 15 minutes, so that's getting about halfway gone. The mineral only's already gone. We've got another attack here. Protoss really needs to do something about these bases, because Zerg is still on like 5 base mining, and those are some juicy Reaver shots, but the Plague is immaculate.
Yeah, amazing play going out on every single Reaver there. We're seeing Bonyth split his force because he is so afraid of the potential follow-up plagues, and yeah, yet another Plague getting a couple Zealots and a Dragoon. Ob's falling. Reaver will fall to a... Oh, never mind. Jinxed it.
Pickup. The hot pickup ends up saving that Reaver. He's still trying to barrel down on this mineral only. It is important for Sziky also to have this base, because his main, Nat, and 3rd base are mined out. He's basically on just 3 base mining, so if he loses this, he's down to 2. That is so many Lings. The storms are nuts, though. He's going to hit so many Lings.
Oh my gosh. So many Zerglings falling down there, but still, the rally is just constant from Sziky. He has so many more Zerglings waiting to back this up, flanking Lings from the most southern base. Nidus is already set up top right with so much static defense, and I feel like Sziky is just strengthening his you know, his grip on this game.
Yeah, the Corsair's gonna see the drone transfer to top right and probably be thinking like, wait a minute, dude, you don't have no hatchery up there. DT even spots it. But this is actually just gonna be long. Oh, there's no. Oh, okay, there's a Spore. So the DT or the drones are going to actually long distance mine top right. But look at this. Bonyth on top of it, microing his heart out. That DT gets like, still, what does that say? 22 kills on a single DT.
Jesus, man. That DT is just a hero, man. Still, though, looks like Bonyth going to shake things up, moving towards the middle left base, trying to, you know, force some pressure out of Sziky with these Reaver drops. And yeah, it looks like Sziky forced to kind of regroup.
Well, Machine, something to notice is that base right below, the gas was never taken. The main gas is mined out. The nat gas is mined out. I'm sure top left gas is mined out. Look at Zyky's gas. He's basically on, you know, 2 gas mining because 3 of them are depleted, and he only has top or bottom left really mining.
You're right. That's kind of surprising. I'm not sure why he didn't take the gas here in the center. Huh. Oh, he almost stormed all his orbs, I thought.
Top left got breached, so the evolution chamber, 2 hatcheries are going to fall. But this base was already mined out, so not a catastrophic loss for Sziky, but like I said, the lack of gas, I mean, that means all he can do is build like 1 defiler at a time and links. Like, he can't mix his army at all. Like, when was the last time you even saw a Hydra?
Yeah, it's been a bit. I mean, we saw a big wave of Scourge, and I feel like that ate up the majority of the gas here. Still, though, he's got that eco top right. The longer he hangs on to that, the more secured this game's going to be, though. But still, the base seems quite vulnerable. We do have the Nidus. So it's going to come down to how fast Sziky kind of reacts here. There are plenty of sunken set up on this high ground. Creep colonies morphing in here. And yeah, the jig is up here. Zerglings coming out of the from the Nidus, as well as a flanking group, trying to get on top of these Reavers, forcing individual Scarabs just on single lings. Ooh, Defiler goes down.
The Scarab shot's so juicy, but the Sunkens on the ramp end up holding for now. That's another good storm, eliminates a lot of the lings, but Sziky does have this base. However, okay, there we go. I was about to say there's no defense at the bottom side of the base for a drop, but there are lings just waiting there. And now finally he takes his gas, but he needs to mine it.
Yeah, he's got to mine that gas. Oh, wow. Looks like he's taking the other gas base at the south side of the map at the same time. And Bonyth says, absolutely not. This cannot happen. And I like the decision there. At least he's going to pressure and prevent this. And now suddenly, once again, Sziky going to be forced to consolidate his units and move his forces bottom left. Ooh, almost got another shuttle.
Just relentless with the attacks with these Reavers is Bonyth, and he's going to find another opening at mid left. So this mineral only might get shut down. I don't see defilers. Okay, there is one, but that's 4 Reavers, and because of the lack of gas, I mean, the entire army is pure ling. So this is going to get melted, and I think actually Bonyth is doing it. He's going to knock down this base. I don't know if he'll necessarily be able to knock down the high ground base, but he'll at least be able to take that low ground base and prevent Sziky from getting it.
I mean, he might even be able to kill off this bottom left base here. It's going to come down to a couple lurkers. But actually, no, it looks like he's opting to go straight for the rally point of Sziky. Huge plague going down, though, from Sziky. A lot of those units already in the red. But, I mean, man, he might be able to do it here.
I think he's going to do it. I mean, there's just no...
no
does he really not have an ob? A single lurker going to save the day? If there was an ob there, I think these 3 Reavers with the standing army could have been able to push through, but now lurkers reposition is going to save that Nidus and save the natural, and Bonyth is going to be pushed back for now. And actually, Bonyth is about to be on just 1 base mining because mid-right's almost mined out, and he needs to get that bottom base up and running.
Somehow, though, Bonyth's still with the eco lead, right? We're seeing 1,000 minerals banked up. I guess Sziky's got a little more gas, to be fair, but 40 supply lead. And I mean, we know Bonyth is so efficient with every single supply he has. These Reavers are really proving to be a huge issue for Sziky here.
Well, that base getting up puts Bonyth on, 5 gases. I mean, that's just so much gas. And the army is still huge for him, 175 supply versus 140. You were saying you might be able to push through here. We've got a single storm hitting that lurker, almost knocking it down. If the Reavers unload, there's no Nidus here, Machine. So this is just all Sziky has. It's, what, 2 lurkers, 2 Sunkens?
Huge plague going down, but we have flanking lurkers. So many lurkers. Oh, you gotta burrow them, though.
You gotta burrow, bro!
Oh, huge damage going down on those lurkers. Maybe not the trade he was looking for. But still, I mean, he's going to get some pretty key kills with the flanking lings, and we're seeing so much blue moving across the map now to shut down this new base of Bonyth.
Wow, this base does get shut down despite losing all those lurkers. The Reavers... Okay, that lurker gets taken down, so the lurker won't splash the Reaver to death. Oh, this base ends up getting saved, actually. That's a juicy plague, but critically saving the base and eliminating bottom left means Sziky's now basically on maybe 1.5 base mining. These 4 Reavers they have to have like 100 kills by now.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Bonyth is doing this, man, but he is getting such good trades with these Reavers. And, I mean, Sziky's, once again, in some serious trouble. We're seeing quite the supply lead out of Bonyth. You know, Sziky just now down to a couple mining bases. And, man, Bonyth is just somehow just finding a way to pull ahead here.
Yeah, I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. It's a 50 supply lead. There's just no answer to these Reavers. Like, yes, they're dying, but the Reavers are getting like 20 to 30 kills every single time you click on one. And he's almost got no money now. This base has to be killed. Otherwise, Protoss is going to be able to take that high ground base and be up on 3 base mining.
Yeah, this is not looking great for Sziky now. He's, you know, still does have that top right base. If the game somehow goes long enough, you know, he should be able to get himself back into this just by holding more bases.
I just realized that mineral only isn't mined out either, so Bonyth could take that too, so that would put him on 4 base mining.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even the bottom left base as well.
Oh, a drone transfer. Oh, that's not a drone transfer. I thought it was.
Man, Bonyth looks like he's really starting to kind of consolidate his forces. I'd kind of expect Bonyth to just attack top right now at this point. He's got to be feeling like he's in a superior position. Oh, good pickup on a couple Templar there, though, from Sziky. And we're seeing some Lurkers and Defilers move to the center of the map here. Couple Consumes going down on a Lurker. And nice Plague.
Another good Plague. I would really like to see Bonyth just secure the left side and then go kill the natural and main. That would just set Sziky so far back. He would lose a lot of his hatchery production. He could lose, you know, his Spire, Pool, Hydrogen, all that. That would all need to be rebuilt. And it would just give Bonyth such big eco. I realize, you know, Sziky would still have top right, but that's fine because you're eliminating, you know, all the production pretty much. I mean, Zergs would just be set back into the Stone Age.
Yeah, it's honestly not a bad call. Out of Sziky, I think a couple Scourge could be a game changer here if he's able to maybe snipe that shuttle with the Reaver or even just pick off obs at this point. I mean, that was a lot of Zealots kind of falling there.
Yeah, that's as effective as a trade you're going to get with just, 4 Lurkers. So that was a really good trade for him, but supplies are starting to tell a totally different story. 152 to 90. I mean, this is a considerable lead for Protoss right now. He just needs to find the angle, find where is an open spot. He's identified top right as having not a lot of defense, so he's going to knock it down. Look at that high ground Lurker. That's cute.
Yeah, that's nice positioning on that. Looks like it's going to be forcing quite a bit of focus from those Dragoons, but it does finally fall here. There's just not enough units here for Sziky. Sziky going to counter, trying to kill off the one remaining base here from Bonyth. Good swarms, you know, good Ling positioning, but ultimately it doesn't look like it's... he does get the Reaver. That's quite a nice pickup.
Yeah, he saves the Reaver, and it's going to get even more kills. He saves the base critically, and meanwhile, Bonyth denying top right is massive. Zerg on 1 base mining, 100 supply lead now for Protoss when Zerg doesn't even have 100 supply. I imagine the GG's coming any moment now because Sziky, you can see he's just fizzling out of money.
Yeah, there's, I mean, just not very many ways back into this one. He knows that Bonyth has that eco advantage. He knows he's got map control at this point. He's barely, you know, struggling to mine off the remaining base that he has, with no real hope in sight of being able to secure that natural. There we go. This is the Bonyth double Reaver drop we were waiting for, and he should be able to, take this game. GG is called there from Sziky, and Bonyth with an epic comeback here in this series for game number 1.
Yeah, that was an insane game. There were moments where both sides felt like they had a big advantage. In the early stages, it felt like Bonyth did pretty well, and then Sziky brought it back and he's up at like 7 bases. I'm like, dude, you got so much stuff. But I think really it was that lack of gas mining. Every attack was Ling Defiler. There was no supporting cast, and I mean, Lings are good, but Reavers one-shot them. Like, literally, I don't think there was a Reaver that game that didn't have at least 20 kills.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that transition, right? Saw the 3 Robos morphing at the natural, and, you know, like, that was really kind of the beginning of the end, it felt like, for Sziky. Sure, if Bonyth had been caught, you know, spending all of his extra gas on Archon and was like Zealot Archon heavy, I might have even favored Ziky's like just heavy Ling, you know, Defiler style versus that. But when you're facing off against, you know, Bonyth Reavers, man, you need something a little special. You need, you know, more Hydras to focus those guys down before they get infinite damage done, it feels like. But yeah, with that, that is going to be win on Power Bond to kick things off here for Bonyth. Next up, though, we get to see one of the interesting maps. It's going to be Nemesis, a pick from Sziky here for this Zerg vs Protoss.
Yeah, and we saw Raz play on this map a few weeks ago, and Zerg just looked like a deer in headlights, like no idea what they were supposed to do versus Protoss. So the fact that Sziky's the one that picked it is a bit surprising, but you know, last game he did really try and go heavy mutas. When you do have access to 3 gas, where you can just kill off the eggs or kill off the assimilators and prevent anybody from actually getting in there, I feel like we could see Mutaman this map, Machine.
Great map for Mutaman. I mean, I've kind of been saying it, but I don't understand like why Zergs don't just like cut the map or cut their natural off, wall it off, right? Like go like that heavy static D, and then just take 4 bases right off the bat. You know, it just seems like such a difficult map for Protoss to be able to do anything about, and vice versa as well. Like, I'd love to see, you know, Bonyth go for a quick 3 base or something like that, and, you know, trying to gain an economic advantage by being a little greedy early on. But yeah, with that, folks, looks like both of our players are ready, and we're jumping into it here. It's going to be Bonyth versus Sziky, Game 2 on Nemesis. And spawning top left as the blue Zerg, it is StarCast Sziky.
Yep, and in the top right, our Protoss, it is Bonyth. I think Sziky got a little unfortunate with these spawns. If this was cross spawn, you know, he could potentially take mid left and top middle. Now, I don't really see a way he's going to be able to take top middle, because he'd have to knock down the eggs at Bonyth's side of the map while also knocking down the eggs in the center of the map. But he still could expand vertically towards mid left, and we do have what seems to be another 9-gate machine.
You think it's 9? Yeah, I guess it probably is 9-gate. I'm thinking about it. Huh. Not a bad call. I think if you're Protoss, the only point in, you know, on this map that you can truly feel safe to be able to apply any kind of pressure is going to be this early game, right, with the 9-gate. So as long as this gets scouted and dealt with here pretty quickly, which it looks to be from Sziky, we have a 9 pool out of him. You know, at least Bonyth will get to impose his will a little bit before having to back up here.
Yeah, and luckily for Sziky, with the Overlord going horizontal, he's going to see it from a mile away. So he'll be able to potentially, you know, branch off a couple Lings, go for a backstab while Zealot's out of position if he wants. Probe scouts bottom right, and he goes for the end scout for some reason, and is going to find Sziky in the second position.
Yeah, that's I'm never sure why Protoss end scout, but it is absolutely the right call here. He will end up finding Sziky top left. Should be able to see these this 9 pool moving across the map here for Sziky. Meanwhile, first Zealot finishing up here from Bonyth. Sees the hatchery placement at the natural, has to be thinking 9 pool. And yeah, the probe does confirm it.
Yep, and there are those Lings, and you can see that the Zealot insta-turns around, getting into position in a defensive posture. Forge instantly comes down also to create somewhat of a Sim City.
I like it, right? Like, why take the risk? Why try to go for like a Nexus and hope you're going to hold with just good Zealot probe control? Just complete the wall off. You know your opponent's kind of lower on drone count given their opener anyway. Now we have a little bit of a dance here.
This is dangerous. Whenever you're facing somebody like Sziky or players like Effort, they will do this where they're just, oh, you went gate expand? Well, you better have good micro, because if you don't, I'm just gonna pick off that zealot as it pops out. And meanwhile, I'm gonna try and knock down this gateway. Ends up not getting knocked down, but he already knocked off about half of its hit points. And machine, that drone did go to mid left, and that is gonna be a free third base for Zerk. So we could still have Mutaman, but there's no gas in the main just yet.
Yeah, no gas is making me question like how early the Spire could possibly be here. Where I don't know if it's going to be directly Mutaman. It could be like Hydra into Muta or something like that. Because yeah, that's a 345 gas, which is quite late for something like a Spire first opener.
Well, it still does match the assimilator timing. As a non-Zerg or non-Protoss player, I'm not, completely confident that the Spire will be in line with the Corsair timing, but we do have a Zealot move out. It is 4 Zealots, and there's only 6 Lings. Now remember, Sziky has something like 10 Lings, so he should be able to clean this up, but he needs to get synced up. And that ramp, it is kind of a tiny area to fight in. Protoss could have a good trade if he's able to get into that position.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be about 10 Lings from Sziky here. Should be pretty close. I think likely he's creating more Lings at home, so he should have what he needs to defend this. But he is engaging with just the 10. Good trade on both sides. Good engagement from both players. Bonyth looks like he wants to continue moving in here.
Yeah, those Zealots have had almost full health, so they're just gonna get in here. Oh my gosh, that was really good reaction on the drone, and he ends up saving it. But still, just so cost effective, dude. That Zealot has 7 kills by himself.
Yeah, very, very well done here from Bonyth. Will even scout the Spire on top of all this. Still, these remaining Zerglings from Sziky going to end up cleaning this up. But yeah, Bonyth, as per usual, just looking like a monster.
He picked out all of the weak Lings there and got 3 more kills. And the answer to will the Spire be in time for the Corsair is hell no, because that Stargate is almost done, where the Spire hasn't even started, and that's going to obligate Sziky to either go Hydra Den, which I don't think is great because it's third hatch. How are you getting units outside, out of that hatchery to your low ground? Or he's going to go Spore. Well, okay, he's going to go Spire, but I don't think he realizes how far behind this Spire is. Well, now he does.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I almost would have expected just a Spore or something like that, the natural delay the Spire, but it looks like he's just gonna try to hide all of his overlords and go for the Spire. So I mean, who knows? Maybe if Bonyth really has a tough time scouting around the map and finding these isolated overlords, it could work. But I don't know. It's a Hail Mary. It feels like at this point.
Well, Sayer is not across the map yet. It's actually taking longer to get to the Sziky side of the map than I was expecting, but the Spire is still only 60% of the way done. We've got another macro hatch going down for Sziky at his 3rd and natural. Meanwhile, did we see a Citadel anywhere? I don't think Bonyth has shown Okay, we did see a Citadel already, so he is going to go into a quick Zealot follow-up because I didn't see Temple Archive anywhere.
Looks like one Overlord, 2 Overlords being killed off simultaneously, the one in the main and one at the natural here. Bonyth not seeing a Hydra Den yet, not seeing, I guess he maybe just saw the 2nd gas started. Hasn't quite scouted the 3rd, but I guess he recognizes that Scorch could be on the map any second here. Wants to just back up.
Yeah, I think Bonyth's going to find at least one more Overlord, but so far he hasn't found the bottom ones. But look at this, because he's dealt so much damage with the Zealots, and because he's pretty confident he supply blocked Sziky, he's already taking a 3rd base himself. And this base is also isolated, also has the 3rd gas, and Protoss love bases with gases, especially if they can take them for free. This just seems like a really good map for Bonyth.
Yeah, this seems like a really great map for Bonyth, and he obviously has a really good idea of how to play it. I mean, why not, right? You don't need to really spend any resources to defend it, why not take it? No cannons at the third yet because he doesn't need them. Sziky, however, with a massive Scourge pump here, obviously is assuming that Bonyth is heavily committing to that Stargate, that Corsair tech. And actually, only 2 Sunkens here. This looks a little scary for Sziky. Zealot's going to try to hit the run by, I mean, just amazing reaction time, though. Trying to block a couple of those. But
I've seen this before, Machine. I've seen a few games like this in my game, in my TVPs, where they just run by the depot, run by the bunker. There is nothing to help save this Spire. That was a Scourge cycle, not Mutas.
Yeah, no Spire, no Muta. I mean, he's probably got a few Muta on the way, but it's not going to be... I mean, it's just not time, unfortunately. Drones being kind of rallied around, pulled around. Still, though, big damage already done for Bonyth here. And Sziky definitely in some trouble.
I mean, you look at the supply and you would think Zerg, okay, Zerg's in a decent position, but supplies, I gotta say, they have to be lying. It's 80 to 60, and it just feels like it's all Bonyth this game. There's a lot of supply in the Scourge. I don't think any of the Corsairs have died at all. There's 7. I thought there was just 5. And again, double Stargate.
I'm loving this, man. Protosses have really started leaning into this double Stargate. Follow-up, basically. It's not an initial 2 Stargates. You still get your Citadel tech, you get your upgrades going, but then, you just keep making more and more Corsair. And eventually, Zerg has to rely on connecting a lot of those Scourges, or you just run away with the game. And we might just see that here.
Yeah, Hydras pop out, so that will help support, but okay, that's feels ambitious. Yeah, 4 Zealots running past 2 Zealots. That seems like a little bit of a misstep, and this time around Bonyth will get punished for that, but I mean, just slightly. He only lost 1 Sair, lost 2 Zealots. He does force units out from Sziky too.
Yeah, he's softened up these Mutas, though, as well.
I don't think they have armor upgrade. I think the Spire died too quickly to have armor upgrade. Yeah, they don't. And those Sairs, they must have +1 weapon, right? I mean, if you're going to double Stargate, you got to get it.
Scourge, though, in position to maybe look for some pickoffs. Does get a single Corsair for free, so great trade so far there from Sziky. But yeah, it looks like Bonyth is hunting this at this point. He wants these free Scourge. He wants these free Muta. Cannon is up in time.
Oh, melted.
Yeah, just melted. Bonyth knows exactly where he's at in this game. He wants all the free units he can get. And yeah, Sziky definitely on the back foot here. Sziky opening up the rally point to his own third, though.
How does Sziky have so much supply? When you go into double Stargate, that can be a liability because that's, doesn't help you versus Hydras. Like, you're not going to be able to hit them. I'm curious to see what the actual standing army for Protoss is. Is that it? 3 Templars and 2 Goons?
He doesn't need it. He's got cannons and he's got Storm, man. I think this is fine. As soon as Sziky goes to try to counter the third, Bonyth's just going to counter with his Corsairs and kill off every single overlord.
That is true. I guess we'll have to keep an eye on that. For now, Sziky is supply blocked 81 to 78. There is 3 Storms available here, and that's a pretty damn good one, actually. So, okay, Hydras pick off another Corsair, so that whittled it down, I think, from 10 or 9 down to 5. But this third base is open.
Yeah, Gas not quite mining at it yet either. It looks like... I mean, Bonyth is rallying some Dragoons over. He has to see this. I guess he's got to try to kill the Assimilator before Zerg can kill both eggs. And, I mean, once this Assimilator dies, there's just no engaging this. So, good call here from Bonyth.
Yeah, that was a nice move there. I wouldn't have even considered it. I probably would have just accepted that the Hydras were going to get in, and I just put my Goons in maybe a good position that they can hit and walk away. Get some free pot shots in, but he finds isolated overlords again. I would say luckily for Sziky, because he killed 4 or 5 Corsairs a minute ago, he doesn't end up losing any more than 1.
This is a drop. This is Sziky trying to doom drop mid right.
Well, Well, that would be great because he just killed the assimilator, so it's not like units can come through the center of the map anymore. They would have to loop all the way around. I mean, that would be a genius move, but so risky with the Sares in the air with +1 and you don't even have armor.
True.
But look at this. Zerg has gotten +1 armor as opposed to +2 weapon on their Hydras. So that's going to negate the +1 or even the +2. Is it +2? It's going to negate at least the +1 upgrade for Protoss right now.
Big surround here from Sziky, but the storms are good from Bonyth as well. Looks like Bonyth opting to back up here, try to retain some of these Templars. Oh man, it was just so many. I mean, the Hydras just disintegrated there.
Yeah, I would. You know, with the Sare air superiority, I would really love to see Bonyth open up the eggs at the top with a DT. While all that action is happening, and then counter, the main. But already Ziky's on top of it. He's already got a group of Hydras and Overlords in position to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, Ziky's just all over it, as you'd expect. Man, it's almost crazy to think that this game started off with, Zealots killing off the Spire inside the main, killing off quite a few drones, and Ziky's just still found a way to pull himself back into this.
Yeah, his supply is always so high. There are a lot of games that I watch. I'm like, dude, he has no money, and then he just explodes. And I'm like, how did you actually do that? But I mean, he's just finds a way every single time, and he's within striking distance, 140, 150 to 110. Where are the lurkers? Oh, there they are. But if they are not up in time, this base is gonna die.
Yeah, this is where you almost don't like to see that mid-left base opened up. I mean, it is just asking Bonyth to kill it off, and there's no units quite there ready. Hydra's being pulled bottom left here, and like we said, there is plenty of lurkers, but they're all bottom left.
Yeah, and he spotted it with an Overlord. I don't think he realizes that the mid-left base is open, because if he did, I'm sure he would just run in there and kill it, because there's nothing there. All of the defense is bottom left, but maybe he's at least recognized that, hey, you've got almost all your lurkers and Hydras bottom left. Well, I'll just attack top left now.
That looks like exactly what he's going to do, and this could be just game. I mean, there's no lurkers set up at the natural here of Sziky. We have quite a few sunkens, like static defense, set up here, but you never want to have to move in with lurkers unburrowed to engage a Protoss force. And here we go. Lurkers pretty stacked, honestly, for Sziky, but we are seeing the storms finally going down here from Bonyth, eliminating quite a few of these lurkers, and yeah, it looks like Sziky forced to back up once again with the majority of his force.
Bonyth ends up backing up also, and even though that's, I don't think, technically high ground in the middle of the map, there is lack of vision there, and these lurkers do get a few shots for free, but still good trades for Bonyth. He's starting to morph some Archons. Oh, wow, Sziky just taps out. It's just too much of a Protoss army for him to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, phenomenally done once again from Bonyth. Little unfortunate to see the Zealot run by, do so much damage to Sziky, kind of to kick things off there, but still made it a pretty incredible game. But big Bonyth will move on with the 2-0 victory to kind of kick things off here in round of 8 for him. Yeah, man, that was still a pretty incredible series. I love watching these two play all the time. Won't be the last time these two hit each other in a major tournament here. But yeah, with that, Sziky kind of forced to rally, after losing his first series here in the round of 8, and hopefully he's able to kind of change things up for future matchups here.
Yeah, he played well, especially on the power bomb game. That was one of the best I've seen this BSL. But I don't know if we're beginning to see a trend or not, Machine. But who won the first game? Was it a Protoss? And then Protoss won the second one. Then Protoss won this one too. And you know what? What's the next series? Is that another Protoss versus Protoss?
My guess is there's probably a Protoss in there. It sounds like it's a PvP. So yeah, Protoss looking like they could clean sweep here today. Yeah,
I feel like they've clean swept every round, man. I'm tired of seeing them. I want to see Zerg or Terran get on the board.
Who's playing next, Zero? Okay, Dewalt against Zhanhun next. So yeah, another epic PvP. As you said, Nyoken, a Protoss likely going to be the victor of our next series here. It's one of the best Chinese, if not the best Chinese Protoss, given what we've seen from him in the previous BSL series. In Zhanhun, going up against Dewalt, the foreign favorite, man. It's going to be a pretty exciting one. But before we get to that, folks, I think we're going to take a quick break here. So stay tuned, go get your water, rest up, because we have an epic PvP coming up for you right after the break.